Every game has a minus world, and Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo is no exception. What's up, guys and gals? Today we're going to take a look into the SNES classic Donkey Kong Country. Real quick before I show you how I got to this, I'd like you to join my journey to 100 subscribers. We're at 82 so far at the time of writing this script, only 18 more to go, and I'll do a face reveal and a very special video on some secrets and discoveries in Resident Evil 4 that you might not know yet. So jump on in and join the journey to 100 subscribers. Alright, now back to the topic at hand. Earlier you heard me state that every video game has a minus world, and while that may seem exaggerated, extremely exaggerated, I still believe it's true. I've actually been a data miner with video games since 2016. That's about 5 years of experience, assuming you're watching this in 2021. Now 5 years doesn't seem like a lot, but in that time frame I've come across many minus worlds. In fact, my first video was about minus worlds in Zelda Ocarina of Time. I believe that they're in every video game, they're just difficult to find sometimes. In my opinion, a minus world can be any video game timeline that loads incorrectly, thus creating environments where random shit is just thrown at you. With the most notable minus worlds being in Super Mario Bros., it can be really fun exploring these RNG hellscapes. Now that I've gotten through my emotional tirade, it's time to dive into the minus world of Donkey Kong Country. Now just a short disclaimer, all of this footage is being captured in a virtual machine, because trying to find the code to make this work was insanely difficult and kept crashing my emulator, resulting in me losing all my progress. So do keep in mind that this footage was captured in a virtual machine. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna crop this shit out and we can pretend that this is your emulator running Donkey Kong Country. So the setup to getting this to work is simple. Go to the main map where DK can select individual levels and hover over level 1. Open Cheat Engine and scan for the value, this value. I'll leave it in the description below. Then scan these values with their corresponding levels. Honestly, you should already have your code by the time you scan this for the second level, but if you still have trouble after level 3, just let me know in the comments below. You don't have to do this, but for the sake of capturing footage, I activated a debug feature that pretty much disables enemies and lets you float around the level. I'm pretty sure you can find the GameShark code for this on the cutting room floor, so I'll leave a link to that article in the description as well. So now we're going to increase this value by 1000. I did it using a trainer to make this go by faster, but you can do whatever, you'll still get the same result. And we're going to keep increasing it by 1000 until the level starts to warp around us, and eventually you're going to start having some random shit spawn in. This sometimes works, other times it might go black for a while, and in that case you can keep trying to increase the value, but honestly if nothing happens after 25,000 increase, then you're pretty much at a dead end. I actually have some pretty interesting values you can try out, like for instance enter this value before entering level 1 and you'll be playing level 1 but with level 3 enemies. The random shit is not actually why I wanted to do this. Donkey Kong Country has some of the greatest aesthetics I have ever seen in a Super Nintendo game, and the backgrounds have always been, to me, one of the core elements to its style. With the minus worlds activated, these backgrounds become super bizarre and even psychedelic at times. Just look at level 1's background after we've increased the value insanely high. With the water levels, we can get this bloody red water background. I can't tell if it's scary or if it makes the background look even more beautiful. Like I am now imagining Donkey Kong swimming in the Red Sea. Sometimes the level just goes completely black, and you keep wandering forward until you realize that you're actually in the silhouette of a level and you fall off and die like I did because you're so mesmerized by what's happening. Of course you get your fair share of random shit too, like this minecart that popped up in a level that was obviously not meant for minecarts. At the factory level, I actually got the camera to pan down and show this weird glitched out ball of metal textures, or wheel of metal textures really, having its own rave party. But by far I think the last level had the most to show out of all the levels I tried this on. Here the camera does its usual glitch fest before it returns to the normal level but with a darker filter over it. The same filter you see if you beat the first half of the level. But for some reason the cannonballs will sometimes freeze mid-air, and even the black silhouette of them will stick around. As you can see here, they obviously still hurt Donkey Kong despite not really having any momentum. Also, if you die in this level and go back to the overworld, your character will basically be in the middle of the sea because King K. Rool's ship hasn't shown up yet. So that's some of the interesting finds in the newly established Donkey Kong Country Minus worlds. There's still a lot to be found, and I'm going to keep looking through this and hopefully find enough content to produce a part 2 of this video, depending on the reception I get. But I'd actually like for some of you watching this to try this out on your emulator and maybe post the results to my new subreddit, Game Over Discoveries. And this will help a lot for getting more content, and I'll even feature your name in any comments that you have on the content that you submit. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and help me on my journey to 100 subscribers, maybe even leave a like. With all of this being said, stay safe and take it easy.